Back to Money for Breakfast. It's time for the deal of the day. And what else is there to talk about than the non-deal that forced the Lehman Brothers into bankruptcy? So with us this morning to walk us through the legalities of Lehman's filing is Fox News' senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Good morning, Judge. Great to see you.
Good morning, Alexis.
I wish it was on a better occasion here. But look, there are a lot of people who either had pension funds like my mom at Lehman Brothers, or their money was managed by them. People want to understand this morning, how does a bankruptcy work? Walk me through the process.
Okay, there are many variables here, but there are basically two likely outcomes. One is where they will file bankruptcy, and a federal judge will appoint a trustee who will line up all the creditors, who will line up all the debtors, who will gather all the assets, he'll sell the assets, and the creditors will get X cents on the dollar. The other route is they will stay in business. No one can sue them. They won't have to pay any bills. And a federal judge will appoint a bankruptcy trustee, and that person will recommend to the judge what should be sold, what should stay in existence, what's good, what's bad, what works, what doesn't. It's enormous power in the hands of a federal bankruptcy judge right here in Lower Manhattan. Lehman Brothers could say, we want to liquidate, we want to go out of business. And the federal judge could say, no, we're going to put this part out of business, but we're going to keep this part operating because this works and this makes money, and this will keep people like your mom from losing all of her investments. She may lose some.
Okay, great point, because it appears as though what we're hearing out of Lehman this morning is the latter. Walk me through judicial authority, because this morning the conundrum that everybody is trying to figure out or understand here is, what role does the Fed play, what role does the Treasury play, what role does the SEC play, or at the end of the day, is it, as you talk about, a trustee coming out of the courts?
You know, it's all the powers in the hands of a single federal judge. There's no jury in a bankruptcy case. But as a practical matter, no judge could manage the bankruptcy of something as enormous as Lehman Brothers on her or his own. So the judge appoints a trustee. A trustee is usually a banker or a lawyer or a company that specializes in gathering assets and recommending to the court what should be done with those assets. The goal of the bankruptcy court is to save innocent people from losing their investments, is to save jobs, is to stimulate the marketplace. The court has almost unbridled authority to say what stays, what goes, what gets sold, and who gets to buy it.
Okay, talk to me about time duration. Some suggest that could take up to a year. Walk me through time. And then there have been corporations historically which have filed for Chapter 11, and they've come out of it. If we're in a different credit cycle 6 months from now, and they're still dealing with assets, could this be Lehman Brothers all over again, standalone, we're doing fine?
There could be Lehman Brothers Part 2, depending upon, again, what can be sold and what is done with the money that comes in from that sale. All of those decisions are decided by the federal judge. This bankruptcy will probably take either a very short period of time because a financial angel will come by. Without a financial angel, it'll take a couple of years to sort out who's owed what and what can be sold. Look, it's Lehman Brothers Holding. They own so many things, some of which produce wonderfully, many of which produce terribly or are in the negative. So the court will separate the good from the bad. There may very well be a smaller, stronger Lehman Brothers. They've been through this before. They almost went through bankruptcy when Pete Peterson was
yeah, they've been through it 4 times. 4 times they've been at the risk of failure. This time,
the powers of the federal judge are enormous, and he has, or she has, great flexibility to salvage as much as possible. It won't happen overnight.
Judge, great pleasure having you on. When we know more of the details of who that trustee, that judge is involved in this process,
we'll talk about them.
I want you to talk about them and tell me how you think they'll shake it up.
You got it.
As always, pleasure. All right.